I sent a love confession to the wrong girl by mistake. 3 years later, she became my wife. Sometimes late at night, when she's already asleep beside me, I stare at her and still can't believe how absurdly everything turned out. The moonlight sneaks through the half-open curtain, laying soft silver lines across her face, and I find myself whispering the same question I've been asking for years. How the hell did we get here? If you told me back in 2013 that I'd marry someone because of a text I accidentally sent to the wrong person, I would have laughed in your face. Back then, I was a 21-year-old college guy with too much caffeine in my bloodstream and too little courage in my chest. My biggest achievement was surviving midterms without collapsing, and my biggest dream was winning over a girl I could barely talk to without tripping over my words. Her name was Emily Brooks, or rather the Emily Brooks, tall, effortlessly confident, the kind of girl whose laughter filled an entire hallway and made heads turn. She was in my English literature seminar, the type who quoted Jane Austen and actually sounded like she meant it. We'd worked together on a group project once, and ever since, I'd been orbiting around her like a clueless satellite, pretending it was coincidence every time I just happened to sit near her. Our friendship was that delicate, half-defined kind, where you never quite know if you're just friends or something a little more. We joked, we shared notes, we texted occasionally about assignments, but behind every emoji I sent, there was a silent prayer that one day she'd notice me for real. My friends, of course, were relentless. "Bro, she likes you," said Aaron, my roommate, one night while eating ramen in his usual dramatic way. "You're blind if you can't see it." "She literally smiled at me because I dropped my pen," I argued. "Exactly," he said, as if that was proof enough of destiny. By the end of that semester, I was hopelessly smitten. Every conversation felt like a test I was failing. I'd rehearse clever things to say, only to forget them the moment she walked into the room. Still, she was kind. Too kind, maybe. She laughed at my awkward jokes, asked about my weekend, and one time, when I was sick, she actually brought me notes from class. That small gesture became the centerpiece of every daydream I had for weeks. But courage is a funny thing. It builds up slowly, like water heating on a stove, until one day it just boils over. Mine boiled over on a chilly November evening. It was the end of the fall term. The campus was covered in wet leaves and the air smelled like burnt coffee and printer ink. Everyone was tired. I remember sitting in my dorm room staring at my phone like it was some kind of weapon. I'd written and deleted my message at least 10 times. "Hey, Emily, I know this might sound out of nowhere, but I really like you. Not just as a friend. You make my days better without even trying. I just needed you to know it wasn't Shakespeare, but it was honest." I wanted her to know how I felt before the semester ended, before she went home for the holidays, before life pulled us apart again. Aaron saw me hesitating. "Send it," he said flatly. "You'll regret it if you don't." I remember the way he said it, like it was the simplest thing in the world.